Christine Ferea is the greatest, and she went into this fight with a record of 8-1, proving, without a doubt, best there ever was. She says best there ever will be, and she had to prove that tonight. The decision's not even out yet. I'm still talking right after the fight. It was close. There were some weird pushes by Ferea. They were kind of like cheating or something. Right after the clinch, Ferea would give her a big shove. And there were a lot of mind games going to this fight. You saw when they were looking at each other before the fight started, both women were looking in each other's eyes. And they were both saying things to each other. And Ferea said, I'm going to put you to sleep. And that's not what happened in this fight. This fight was close. Closer than many expected it to be. A lot of people, and let's be honest, thought Ferea was going to run through just Jade Masson-Wong. They thought she was just going to slam her. And it's because of the belief that she has in herself and the belief that the fans have. Everybody thinks that Ferea is the greatest. And you don't have to be the greatest in every fight to be considered the GOAT. She just has to win this fight. And I don't know right now if she's going to win it. On my card, it was close, 3-2. But I didn't watch it like a judge. I just watched it as more of a fan. I wanted to see this fight. So I still don't know who gets their hand raised. Jade was really just tying her up over and over again in the clinch, and it just became so repetitive. It started to become really bad in the fourth round. It was really lackluster, but it was a fight. It was a fight between the two best. They both kind of canceled each other out. I wouldn't say this is a fight that you got to go back and watch. It was a fight between the two best. The thing is in this fight that Jade really came out there and fought a fight that was way better than expected. Look at that. Right now, I just found out that Ferea won the fight by split decision. So it was close. Like I said, I would have been the one judge that was picking Jade Masson-Wong. So two judges must have went with Ferea. And I don't blame them. I didn't watch the fight that intently. I don't like to complain either during these really close fights. You have a lot of fans that want to complain. But I think that Wong started to get frustrated. She started to get frustrated because when they got into the clinch, Ferea kind of disrespected her and just pushed her away really weird. I think that Wong started to realize that she was the stronger fighter. And you got to be honest, Ferea is the aging fighter here. Wong is younger, and she has that going into this fight. And if there's a rematch, she has that going into the next fight. Now, Christine is going to go out there and talk, and she's going to go say that she is the GOAT. You know, this was just a fluke, and I believe it. I think that Ferea could have went out there and whooped her, but I also think that Wong could come back and slam her in the next fight. So I would really want to see the rematch between these two girls. I don't think it was the greatest start to two fights. I don't think it's the greatest start to a trilogy. There were some questions in this fight, and that's what really sparks that controversy. So really quickly, Ferea was disrespecting Wong, pushing her away disrespectfully. I think it was almost like a foul. And that from there, Wong just wanted to tie her up. And Wong didn't really get that many great shots in, but either did Ferea. Really close fight. You can see that Ferea has a cut on the inside of her eye. She suffered some damage in this fight. And I think that Wong is going to have some bitter taste in her mouth. And I think that, you know, knowing Christine Ferea, so is she. She's got a lot to prove, this woman. It's mostly on her back. Nobody really is telling her to prove what she has to prove, but she wants to prove it to herself. And I think that she's going to be really mad at herself after watching the replay of this fight and seeing how she went out there. I think that Christine Ferea is going to wake herself up. And I think she's going to want to go out there and slam Wong, really just destroy her. And I think it's going to be personal this time. I think that's how Ferea is going to go into a rematch versus Jade Masson-Wong. Jade did great, and she made a big name for herself. People really see her as one of the top now, and that's where she should be. She's a great fighter. As far as the future goes, lackluster fight that we saw, but it's going to be a good rivalry.